All right, guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while. The host and my co-host Angel for the Back of the House Boys podcast show,
Yeah. What's
and I
going on?
got
It's been a
my
long time.
co-host
It's Buck.
Buck. As you can see, yeah, we're streaming on a different platform today. Well, we're recording
Yeah.
this on a different platform. We're doing some testing. We've been trying to look at some stuff, but sorry for the delay, the hiatus. Just been away for a bit. We had some personal things go on. Some life events happen, and then also the holidays. You know how that goes. If you're outside of the U.S., it sounds horrible for me to say. Why would I say that? But anyway,
Did you have a good holiday, Rick?
I had a great holiday. I had a lot of personal things happen. It was a good holiday, and
That's good.
yeah, I'm glad it's over. Not like that, but like I'm glad
It was a busy season. Yeah.
I'm glad the season is over. Just it was too much. It was too much. What
Yeah.
about you, Buck?
I was good. I did have some life things happen as well over the break, but it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're back. We're back. I'm good. New year.
yeah.
I'm excited
New
for
year, same bullshit.
yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
excited for it to see where the podcast goes this year. Big things for us for the Back of House Boys.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan. We're gonna bring a little bit more of a different tone, like just different approach to this kind of thing. Again, we're learning today. We're streaming using StreamYard. Use code Back of the House. What? No, I'm kidding. We don't have a code for this. But anyways, just been doing some investigating, some journaling, some searching, just trying to find something good to record on. And we're trying this out today. Hopefully this works out. And yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sticking around. I know it's been a while, like I said, but just hope you guys had a happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, happy new year. And like Buck was saying, just hoping to take this to a new level this year and just kind of we're still learning, but just take some bigger steps this year. We do have
Hmm.
some topic of discussions. There was a busy couple months. Obviously, college football has come to an end. Um, I know many people don't like to call it the off season, but it is the off season. But it's not because shout out to JP because don't say off season. Anyways, that's come to an end. A lot of big stories with that, and then also next week's the Super Bowl. We're recording this as of right now. It's the day of the Pro Bowl, so that's that. But yep, next week's the Super Bowl. If your team's not in it, I'm sorry. My team's not in it. Buck's team's not in it. Who gives a
Nope.
fuck? But anyways, don't really care who wins. I know Buck kind of cares who wins, but we'll get to that topic when we get to that topic. But just want to start off by saying thank you and welcome back, and hopefully we can you know, hit the stride back to where we were. So with the first topic, we're going to talk about the CFB offseason. Yeah, you like that? You like that? Pop-ups going on.
Wow.
We're getting professional over here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No off
just the
season though,
offseason.
Rick. No
Yeah, oh,
off
yeah,
season.
it's not the off season, but we're
It's the off season.
CFB out of season. There.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the playoff ended. Obviously, Alabama came up short, choked in overtime. Not choked. We played a good Michigan team who happen to know a lot of stuff about us. But hey, it's whatever. There's
Whoa,
a
whoa,
reason
whoa.
that coach left. Our coach left too, but whatever. But yeah, Michigan ends up giving us our L, knocks us out. No natty this year, but it's okay. We'll be back. We'll be back. There's another thing I will talk about here in a bit. You know, with the offseason, but obviously Alabama, Nick Saban retiring after the season. Um, it was, where were you? Where were you? I got a text. Well, I'm getting ahead. I'm getting ahead. And Washington obviously beat Texas. Texas, they didn't
That game was
choke.
crazy.
It was a really good game. Obviously, if you're over here on the East Coast, then it was a long ride. I ended up waking up to realize that Washington did end up winning.
Yeah.
Uh,
Barely. That ending was crazy.
yeah, it was a really good
That
game.
was
Really good
wild.
game.
Yeah.
Um, Overall, just offensive heavy, as opposed to the one earlier that day with Michigan and Alabama.
Hmm.
But two really good games. Obviously, my team didn't stick it out, but it happens. It happens. With a lot of success, there has to be some failure. you know?
Mhm.
So, but yeah, and Michigan ultimately ends up winning the Natty. So honestly, since that national, I don't think anybody's talked about it because no one really cared other than like the state of Michigan. It's whatever. Uh,
Yeah.
as far as that goes with the off season, I guess you could call it, Alabama just like I was saying, with Saban retiring, where were you? I got a text from my good friend, and actually has appeared on the show, JR, in one of our group chats, sending me a screenshot of the ESPN notification, and I'm like, why wouldn't I get this notification? Like, what? Like, and here I clearly, personally, I was
He
like,
he
this.
always gets the notifications first. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah, literally, he gets every notification that will ever happen, like automatic. Like he'll have the Super Bowl score before it's over. Like
Yeah.
it's insane. And I got a text from him in our group chat, and it was literally like Saban retiring, and he was like, holy shit, like this. And I'm like, he was like, Rick, Angel, bro, and I'm like, I'm over here like trying to cook dinner, and I'm like, what is going on, like. And, I obviously ignored it at first, and everybody's going crazy in the group chat, and I'm like, there's no way." Like, obviously, I wasn't telling anybody because I wasn't texting in the chat. But first thing I did is I went to Instagram, I went to X, and I was just looking. Finally, as soon as I refreshed my feed, like the 3rd or 4th time, the post came up on Instagram, and I was like, "Dang, it's real." Um, but overall, nothing but great, like, grateful and thankful for the, since I was a child, Saban's basically been there, that at least I can remember. Um, so been spoiled all my life. I will say that with greatness, but obviously he was the GOAT for him to do what he did. And I mean, just I don't know if that'll ever be replicated, as far as Bucks fan, his life and fandom of the Tennessee Volunteers. He's known nothing but hate for Saban, and whenever we were talking about it, this guy literally didn't show any emotion or like empathy to Nick Saban. And I'm like, how are you hating on this guy?
Bro,
Like,
because he's been the bearer of bad news my entire life, barring
okay,
1 year ago.
okay, but my thing is, if the roles were reversed and this was a Tennessee coach, I mean,
You wouldn't
I'm
care
gonna give
either.
him his flowers. I'm gonna give him his flowers. It's like Brady, whenever he retired, there was obviously a lot of
Yep.
mixed emotions. But growing up, my uncle, who was like one that showed me everything I knew about football at the time, he was a big Peyton Manning fan. So he obviously hated Brady. So
Mhm.
growing up, I hated Brady. But
Mhm.
whenever he retired, I was like, man, like this this guy just literally did it at a different level that's never really going to be replicated. But I may be speaking too soon with, Patty Mahomes. But still, like
I thought you were gonna say Brock Purdy.
with Brock Purdy. Nah, he's Eli Manning.
For real, bro. He's gonna be the kryptonite for Patrick
You
Mahomes
think
for
so?
years, bro.
Well, we'll get
No.
to that.
Yeah, that way ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But no. But yeah, like I said, it's just I'm gonna pay him his flowers. Like, Tom Brady, he is ultimately the GOAT. It's like Nick
Yeah.
Saban. Even if you are a Bulldog fan, a Volunteer, or a Michigan fan, and the thing that I hate about Michigan is they're always gonna be like, oh well, we made Nick Saban retire. No, you did not make Nick Saban retire. The man is 72 years old. Like, you think this guy's gonna be doing it till he's 82? I wish, but at
Mhm.
some point this guy has to live his life. But,
Hey, man,
like
he
I
gave it his
said,
all, and you
yeah,
cannot ask for, like, anything more. Nothing more. Like,
no.
the
I
dude
mean, literally, he doesn't owe anybody a thing. And like for Alabama fans to, be upset, obviously there's a lot of people that, were genuine and understood his decision, but then there was a lot of people that, it's just, hate, but it's just like he doesn't want he's not going to leave the place in shambles. He's going to take care of them, and he still has an office with Alabama, and he's going to help the incoming coach, who is Kalen DeBoer. At the time of, if we would have recorded this the day of, we wouldn't have known this. But this is why we kind of waited a little bit. Also, just personal reasons, stuff happening. But now that we have all this information, we can actually talk about it. But like I said, as an Alabama fan, I'm thankful for everything he did. I'm grateful for everything he's done. And at times I was spoiled. I will admit that. But, you know, I am excited for this new era with Kalen DeBoer, especially because this is the first coaching change that I can remember personally. So I'm excited for like the new era. All my life basically it's been the top of the top. But like now it's really like, hey, you are gonna have to fight. You are gonna have to be dogs at time. You're gonna have bad years.
What are you gonna
But
do when they go 8-4 next year?
yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. That's the beauty of it. You just there's beauty in the struggle, man, and you got to understand that. But I will
Yeah,
say,
it's crazy
but
because, well, I mean, like, we don't remember Alabama being bad, and I've been told there were years where Alabama was bad, like pre-Saban, and
oh yeah, I
it's
mean,
gonna
I've
be
been told too,
basically.
and I've seen it.
I mean, our whole lives they've just been a dynasty and the standard of college football and like what everyone's trying to replicate, like their success. And it's gonna be weird. Like, I don't know. I mean, what's his how do you say his last name? Kalen, what is it?
DeBoer,
DeBoer. I mean, if DeBoer can, can replicate half the success of Nick Saban, which is what? How many natties did he win? 7?
six with
8?
Alabama, 7 in
6.
total.
So yeah, if DeBoer can, replicate half of his success,
Two,
3 national championships,
3.
he'll be pretty good. But yeah, yeah, it'll be an adjustment period for you guys, especially if you don't like right off the bat are not competing for the SEC championship or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand, that a lot of people are gonna, believe in the regression, and we're already moved down to like fifth in the polls for the SEC like prediction, which
That's far.
I
I don't know about
personally
that.
find kind of crazy, especially with
Nationally,
some of the talent we're returning. Nationally, I understand,
yeah,
but
I did SEC. That's
conference wise,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's crazy.
already LSU's already favored, even though I mean Garrett Nussmeier is returning, so that I understand that. But I mean, overall, I'm excited. Like I said, they've been had that excuse me that defense mentality, run the ball. That style of game, it wins you a couple national championships if you're in Georgia. So, but we did it for a while, and I understand it and I respect it. But I'm excited for the explosiveness, like the new age. You everybody saw what Washington did. They came runner up in the national championship. Yeah, they got hosed by Michigan's defense, but at the same time, like these guys were exploding on the scene, monster plays. There was games with Washington where they struggled and against some lesser opponents, but I think the Pac-12 ended up having you know quite a bit of ranked teams at the end of the year.
Yeah,
And then you shutting down Bo Nix and forget it. I'm forgetting his name. I'm blanking on his name right now. Oregon's had Dan Lanning. Shutting them down. Like that's a really good team. And Kalen DeBoer and Penix got the best of them twice. So like I said, the coach is a winner. I understand he hasn't stayed with in jobs for long. That's one of the things people are like knocking him at. But at the same time, it's
that's just reaching for stuff to knock him
yeah.
about.
You're telling me he wouldn't have stayed at Washington if Saban didn't retire? Like
Dude,
you
I've heard
literally, yeah.
yeah, Josh Pate said that they were gonna double or yeah, Josh Pate, he said he heard that they were gonna double his salary to like almost 9,000,000 a year or over 9,000,000 a year at
Hey, would
Washington.
have get what he's getting at Alabama right now.
Yeah, and
Literally
Alabama's a
like
better
a West
job,
Coast guy. Yeah, yeah.
a better recruiting hotspot. Yeah.
Well, I've heard
That's the
that.
dream job for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it said that he had like, yeah, don't quote me on this, obviously, but I think he had like 6 to 10 recruiters. Like, I guess like, not recruiters, but like help on his like primary recruiting staff. He went from like 6 to 10. So I think it was like 30 something at
Alabama?
Alabama. So
Yeah.
it's like, what can this guy do with that amount of help and
Good
success
manpower. Yeah.
and just the facilities, the state of the art facility that he has at Alabama. Like, why would you not
Mhm.
take the job? I will
Mhm.
say I'm going to come off record and say that I really wanted Dan Lanning, but at the
Mhm.
same time, why would Dan leave what he has going right now?
Mhm.
Like like transfer wise, and then you know, obviously Washington got the best of him this past year. But
Mhm.
other than Washington, he was running the table, you know. But and they got a lot of transfer portal players in, and Oregon's going to be a really good team this year. The thing I don't understand is there is 12 teams on the playoff this upcoming year, and Alabama with we did lose a lot of production, but we also had a lot of people that were sitting behind, and we do have some key returners. You know, I understand with Caden Proctor and Caleb Downs, the true freshmen that ended up leaving. I respect their decisions, but at the same time, like we still have a lot of dogs on the roster. So
Did Downs end up
again,
going to Ohio State? Is that right?
mhm, yeah. But like I said, with Saban retiring, he's not going to leave this program in the dirt, and he's going to help DeBoer handle this as effectively and efficiently as possible. And like I
You
said,
don't
I'm
think it's
excited for the dog
you don't think
mentality.
it's like uh uh counter you don't think it's like counterproductive for Saban to still have like a say over stuff that DeBoer does? Or
I
so
don't
like still have input,
I don't think he has a say. I think he has like
just like
a refer
mentoring
like
and just
yeah,
like
like a mentor, like a referral, like, hey, what
mm,
should we do here? You know.
yeah.
But, at the end of the day, this is Coach DeBoer's team, but Saban is still with the program in a sense is like he still has an office. He can still have some input, but it's nothing that DeBoer has to take. More of advice. It's more of like referrals. It's more of like just help. So, I
It's got
mean,
I mean, that's huge shoes to fill, man. Like, that's a huge spot.
yeah, like you said, even if he does half, even if he, gets 2 national champ, which with the amount of help, facility, and roster that he can have, which he was doing big things over at Washington, you know? In 2 years, he flipped them from I think it was like 3 and 8 that one year that they had really bad. He came in the following year, back-to-back 11-win seasons,
Mhm,
you know? It's just like the guy's a winner, but, many people are gonna knock him because he doesn't stick around. But he would have stuck around at Washington if it wasn't for, arguably one of the best job positions. The biggest thing about the job, the problem is the shoes to fill. No
mhm,
one wants to follow this guy. No one wants to follow Bill Belichick. No one wanted to follow Tom Brady. At the end of the day, it has to be done. And I think DeBoer is one of the guys that can definitely step into the role and, help fix that. Or not fix, but step into the role and kind of just keep the gas going. Yeah, it might take him, a couple games to get up to speed, but with the amount of resources and the stuff that he has, it shouldn't be a problem for him.
mhm.
That's really it on the Alabama thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited again. All my life I've been spoiled, and I'm ready for the highs, the lows. I'm ready to be average, an average college football team fan. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be average, but
Nah.
there's going to be an 8-4 year. There's going to be a potentially a 6-6 year. But at the end of the day, there's a possibility for a 13-1, 15-0, 14-1. There's a possibility for that, especially with the 12-team playoff. But we'll see. We got a couple years of that. Anything else
Yeah,
you want to
man.
chime in about Saban and the Alabama program?
Uh,
I know that
no,
you have a lot
not
of
really.
expertise in it.
Oh, about Alabama?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the resident Alabama expert. Uh, no, not really. I don't have anything else to say about it
Yeah.
other than he
Yeah,
is
I'm
the GOAT,
excited. Yeah, I
and,
mean, he is a good.
it's an
Thank you.
exciting but nervous time if you're on
Chat, clip that.
if you're in if you're in T-Town. It's a exciting and nerve-wracking time, I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm excited, but I also understand. You know, but it's gonna be a good year. I'm excited,
Yeah,
especially with
man.
coming back. Booker, Haynes is still there, so it's gonna be a good year. And offensively, I'm excited, especially if Ryan Grubb stays. If he ends up leaving for the Seattle OC job, again, I understand. Why wouldn't you take an NFL job, especially to get the experience that you could have. But I would love for Ryan Grubb to stay, but at the end of the day, it is DeBoer's offense. So Grubb is Not saying Grubb is a product of DeBoer, but I don't think we'd miss a beat if DeBoer was there, or if Grubb was to leave. Sorry, let me rephrase it. But the next topic we wanted to talk about is just the biggest thing right now: NIL and tampering, because honestly, it goes hand in hand. If we're being honest, you know.
Yeah.
Tanner is an expert in the issue right now. And in case you don't know, Tennessee is basically dogging the NCAA, letting them know that, hey,
So, yeah.
oh, well, I'll let you speak on it because I don't
Okay.
really know much.
So, it probably when was it? Maybe Thursday, I think. Thursday or Tuesday of last week. I can't remember which day it was. I'm pretty sure it was, it was Tuesday of last week, I believe. Um, the NCAA came with, sanctions, or they came with allegations against, University of Tennessee and their NIL, um, findings or whatever. They were trying to find something against University of Tennessee, and, the Iron Lady, uh, Chancellor, Donda Plowman of, Tennessee, she fired back with a letter to the commissioner, Charlie Baker of the NCAA, saying, or the president, I'm not sure which title he has, just saying that the sanctions were just absolutely, like, irrefutably false, and everything that they were being accused of was false, and that the NCAA was moving the goalposts, because they're saying that Tennessee broke rules, NIL rules that at the time weren't in place, but now that they're in place, like Tennessee or whatever school, they're accusing Tennessee of breaking the rules, but the rules weren't in place. But now they're like retroactively being accused of breaking NIL rules. So anyway, the university, Donna Plowman, the chancellor, fired back and said that's ridiculous. Like, you're moving the goalposts, not just for us, but for everyone. Like, if it's us, then it's everyone that this is happening to. And yeah, and then the next day, the state of Tennessee and the state of Virginia, the attorney generals, they filed a joint suit against the NCAA, about the false claims and everything. And who knows? I think this will probably get drug out in court for years to come, unfortunately. But I don't think it's. I think, yeah, the NCAA is just going to try to get it to drag out in the court and then get them to drop it and go on their merry way. But I don't know. I think the NCAA, they don't serve a purpose for Division One football. I don't think. Like past, yeah, like bowl eligible teams, I don't think they serve a purpose for anymore, especially Power Five, because the playoff committee, that has nothing to do with the NCAA, so they don't serve. I don't think they serve a purpose. The NCAA only serves, the biggest money maker for the NCAA is March Madness and the tournament, basketball, and that's it. And the NCAA like claims that they want to, help students, and that's what they're there for. That's what they're created to do. But you know, it just doesn't seem like it with, just the constant, moving to the goalposts and just rule changes and everything else. So yeah, that's what's going on with Tennessee, at least with the NIL things. And I think it's good that it was Tennessee that the NCAA tried to come after, and I think it's because the NCAA, I mean, Tennessee just got out of a horrible, you know, uh, investigation from the previous administration that was there, that was involved with the football team and the athletic director. Um, and then Danny White, the athletic director of Tennessee, put out his own letter saying that pretty much that if Tennessee has done is wrong, then every other football program is wrong as well, as far as the NIL rules. Um, so yeah, moral of the story, Angel, the NCAA is corrupt and shouldn't have a place in college football.
Yeah.
I don't
No, I
know.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. What I'm
What are your
hearing is
thoughts?
that whole it's not a merger, but the Big Ten and the SEC, meeting. Obviously,
Mhm.
they understand the issue, and I mean, those
Yeah,
are the two
because
of the
if it affects,
biggest. Hmm.
yeah, if it affects one team, like if it affects one Power Five school, it's gonna affect all of them.
Yeah, I would
Like
like to
you
see
should
what
just be
Ohio
glad.
State would. would
Yeah, you
get.
should just be glad it's not coming after you right now, like your program, because they will come after you eventually. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, look
they'll
into what
just
happened with A&M. A few years back. What was that?
mm,
And then with like I said, I'd like to understand what's happening up there with Ohio State as well.
hmm
You know,
yeah, it's
they spent
the
a
NC
million on recruiting the last month.
really?
Yeah,
Good lord, I didn't know that.
just so happens to be whenever Caleb Downs enters the transfer portal.
Wow,
They
interesting.
spent they spent over $1 million on recruiting.
And,
That's what I've heard. You know,
mhm.
not saying anything against the teams, not trying to expose anybody,
Well, it
but
goes back to the NIL stuff.
yeah, I
The
mean,
NCAA sat on their hands for so long and was just hoping that it would dissolve and that players wouldn't want to get paid. And then the Supreme Court was like, okay, yeah, you can. And then there were no rules in place. And so it was just a free for all. And now they're like trying to progressively install rules and
yeah, I
and
mean,
they're accusing people of breaking those rules, but those rules weren't in place when they were broken. So idiots, man. It's all the NCAA is.
whole bunch of idiots.
Whole bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I mean,
National Collegiate Association of I don't know,
some
something.
something, man. But no, yeah, I mean, I understand the situation, and it's like, I saw this one thing where they were talking about like how, like you said, how do they expect someone to, enforce laws that you enforced 8 months ago and are going to change, today, and then get legal situations because the rules you just changed that they were following up to 8 months ago just mess you up now. It's a
Also,
crazy time.
just like the player in question, like with Tennessee that they're accusing is Nico
It is
Iamaleava.
Nico.
Yeah. The I think the New York Times confirmed that it was Nico, and that's I mean pretty much everybody thought it was Nico, like the ones that they're like accusing of or whatever. But
Mhm.
Spire Sports, like the collective or like the sports agency that's like partnered with like the volunteer fund or whatever it's called, um, which is like their NIL collective, came out and said that like all of his stuff was done legally in the state of California, which is where he was, and like that's where he's from, and it was legal, like under all of the rules and precedents that like the NCAA had at the time, and
Mhm.
every like, but now they're like putting in those rules and they're saying that those rules have been broken, where they didn't exist when that happened. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole shit show right now. I mean, if I'm being honest, NIL is to the point where it's pay to win. I mean, Saban kind of referred to it a long time ago, and ultimately, this could have been it is one of the bigger reasons that as to why he possibly left. It's who's going to present more money to get a recruit. It's not about the coaching anymore. It's about and I understand some of these players come from troubled backgrounds or lesser backgrounds, and they just kind of need something to help stabilize right now. But at the same time, like, why not be able to, you know I'm not trying to say this the wrong way, but work it out, tough it out, get the degree, make it to the league, get drafted, and that was the whole goal back then. I will say there was some players getting paid, but those were obviously the prime of the prime, aka Reggie Bush, the whole,
Johnny
all that.
Football.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but I mean, I also respect, everybody should be able to, make money off of their name, image, and likeness. But with, you know, with I'm not trying to say with borders, but to an extent. I mean, I understand Caleb Williams
I
is
think
obviously going to make a lot more on image and likeness if me or you were to be on the team.
I was gonna say I think NIL is so important for like the seventh man on like a
Mhm.
NCAA like basketball team or something like that to like have
Yeah,
just like some kind of sponsorship with like a local like store or something like that.
yeah.
So he can make money off himself. Why not? This dude's not gonna go league.
So he can pay for his groceries that week. So he can
Exactly. Like so he can
pay
do whatever
for
he wants with
his
it.
so he can help pay for his his school
Yeah.
because he's
He
probably
might not be
not
on
on
scholarship.
scholarship. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the whole
So
reasoning behind NIL. But,
mhm.
you know.
But yeah,
Obviously,
the NCAA just sat around and didn't do anything about it. So
there needs to be something, done about it with moderation. Like I said, people should be able to benefit off of their name, image, and likeness, but with moderation. Caleb Williams, obviously, I don't know if you saw that picture of his like penthouse suite or his penthouse apartment at USC. It was absurd, and it's just
really,
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
mean, the dude has what? He's got like a Dr. Pepper commercials and
yeah. I mean, I get it. He was the face of CFB,
yeah,
so obviously to his own right, but at the same time, like, what else was going on? This guy, they talked about him potentially sitting out this year, sitting out the draft because he's making.
because he's making so much already.
Yeah, I mean, what else
Why
does he
would you
need?
go play
Yeah,
horrible football and suffer
yeah.
and potentially get hurt like behind the horrible offensive line in Chicago or wherever he's going?
I mean, his offensive line at USC wasn't great either, but still.
Well, I mean, but you're in Los Angeles over Chicago. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
mean,
It raises a valid point of like whether, yeah, it does raise that question of why would I go pro to this horrible team
yeah.
when arguably, I don't know,
In a
USC
sense,
could
though,
be
it could also
better.
benefit, basketball. Like, that's my thing with basketball. My biggest thing was, I understand the one and done, but like, it's giving people an opportunity to stay because hey, I am making money.
They're getting money. Yeah.
I'm making some money before I could go to the league, and I'll stay and potentially help work towards my degree, and potentially help my family,
Hmm.
for the long run. But
Or I mean, like
again,
the guys who are like balling in like college, but are just just probably aren't going to work out in the league. Make
yeah,
as much money now as you can.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that don't make it, and
yeah,
had massive NIL offers. I mean, look at Johnny Football. Not saying he didn't make it. Don't put this as a wrong way.
he
You're
would
gonna
have
come over
ruled
here
though.
and
He would have ruled
shit
NIL,
on
man.
me, but no, yeah. I mean,
It would have been absurd.
it's just something that needs to be dealt with. NCAA is obviously not
Regulated.
the one. Yes, regulated, and at some point there's gonna be some people that are gonna be examples, and unfortunately, it could be Tennessee. You know,
We'll see. I think they're going to fight back with everything they have because,
personally, I think Michigan should also be looked into, but you know, that's a whole
well, that's
nother.
different. So Michigan, actually, you know what? I'm kind of talking out of turn. I don't really know what's going on with Michigan as far as like, I mean, I just know that Harbaugh left. Other than like him
I mean,
leaving.
they were gonna. He was gonna have be suspended or something. So he was like, might as well leave.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
blame him.
So
And he
like
got
that's
his.
like that feels just like an admission of guilt already.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
not even fighting it. Just yeah, yeah, we did it. I'm gonna sit out.
yeah. I mean,
So
it's a wild time, and NCAA, if they're gonna stick around, does need to have a lot of work to do.
it's
So
exciting. It's an
I
exciting
get
time too.
it's not an
This
off
is
season for the college football.
exactly. And if you're just a
AP was
casual
right.
fan, you should get into it.
Yeah.
You should get into viewing and following everything because yeah.
Stay up to date with the back of the house, boys. Subscribe. I'm kidding.
Sub now. Let's go.
I'm kidding. But yeah, definitely hit the subscribe, man. We're some casuals still learning just like you guys.
Absolutely.
Unless you're a pro and you want to be a
If you are a pro,
shit on
please
us in
come
the
on and tell
comments.
us. Yeah.
Or if you are a pro, please DM us personally and
Yeah.
give us some advice. We'd
Yeah.
appreciate that. All right. But, I mean, that pretty much rounds up the college football talk at the moment. I mean, there are some bigger stories, but we're trying to keep this wrapped up, especially because next week's the Super Bowl and there's a lot of stuff to talk about with the NFL as well. So, not saying it, not showing any hate against college football. We love it, but we got some NFL stuff to talk about, and obviously the NFL playoffs are one of them.
Uh,
So, you want to start this, or you want me to start it, or
I
I mean,
can.
I don't know if you want to get it out of the way now.
I do want to get it out of the way now.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, I the only way that I know, the only explanation that I have for the Dallas Cowboys just continually shitting the bed in the past 20 plus years in my lifetime of, and no matter how well the regular season goes out for them, but constantly finding a way to lose in the playoffs. Jerry Jones has to have had a deal with the devil himself. That's the only explanation. It doesn't matter the coach. It doesn't matter the quarterback. It doesn't matter the coordinators. There's one common factor between all of those. Who is it? Jerry Jones.
I was about to say Jerry Jones.
Exactly. Jerry Jones. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Dallas does. Their defense got steadily worse somehow. Dan Quinn's his amazing defense from 2 years ago. You're telling me Trevon Diggs was really that big of a piece? With the one guy, I understand he's all pro, interception machine, ball hawk, whatever, blah blah blah. But like, he doesn't like. I don't know, and just like not having players, and I don't know, and just like misusing Micah. It's so dumb, man. I was trying to get out of my head, but it's hard to get out of your head when the team that you love does not care about you in the slightest.
They don't know who you are.
They have no idea who I am.
Yeah.
And then you get accused of being called a bandwagon because they're just the most popular team in the league,
Yeah. When they do good, you
but
get
they haven't
accused.
done anything to prove it. And then you get called a bandwagon. So that's awesome. And then it's hilarious when they lose because, it's fun to hate on Dallas. That being
It
said,
was pretty fun.
yeah, exactly. That being said, I cannot believe the Packers have drafted 3 straight Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Bold take.
Um,
No, I'm kidding.
Jordan Love, he was crazy, man. I mean, he was balling out, and he was just picking apart Dallas. But and they were close to beating San Francisco too. I think he's got big things ahead of him in Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has a really good ceiling, but he also has a floor. He has a pretty low floor. I will say that. Obviously, with the 49ers game, they did have a chance to put it away, but in moments,
But it's what? His first year
I don't.
starter.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. In moments, there were moments that were questionable, but again, like you're saying, it was a first year.
Hmm.
But this sounds horrible to say this, but there is only one person, in my opinion, at the moment that you really cannot ever bet against, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Jordan Love, I don't want to compare him to that because that would be bad on my part to do that. But Jordan Love definitely, like you said, is Hall of Fame is kind of reaching, but I think he has a chance at a really good career,
Yeah, that was an
especially
exaggeration, but he's very good, and it
yeah.
shows that he was sitting under Aaron Rodgers for 2 years or 3 years.
I mean, that's the benefit with having
Yeah.
that system, being able to do that, like like Mahomes. He sat behind Alex Smith for a year, and
How
there's
much did he
there's a
really
lot of quarterbacks that could have benefited off of that. What'd you say?
how much did he really learn from Alex Smith, truthfully?
Truthfully, I think he learned quite a bit. I mean,
I
he
would say
was.
just, like, how to work the league and stuff, but and maybe some mechanic I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe, but I would say
I mean,
Jordan
I
Love
think
mo
Alex
learned
Smith was a
more.
really good quarterback. I mean, obviously, never got over the hump, but
He was serviceable, and that leg
yeah,
injury was gruesome,
yeah.
but yeah.
HTTR, man. But anyways, as far as playoffs go, yeah, Buck got his topic off. My topic
AFC.
is
Let's go to
it,
AFC.
it was too damn cold, man. I don't expect anybody to play in those conditions. Kansas City is obviously, like I said, a team that you shouldn't bet against right now because of who is at the helm. Patrick Mahomes is simply the clutchiest, like the most clutch player, in my opinion, at the moment. And once we get to the topic of the Super Bowl, we'll talk more about that. But like I was saying, the Dolphins, we were banged up. It was the end of the year. It was -26. Felt like negative, or felt like -26. Obviously, they have a heated field, and I understand that. But it's how do you expect teams to play on there? Obviously, we should have, but there's no excuse
What's
for that.
what's your opinion on, like, people saying that, like, "Oh, these new state there's no reason for these billion-dollar teams not to have a closed stadium, like,
Uh,
where it's cold." What do you think?
I mean, it's football.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. It's football. I mean,
Yeah.
I respect the people that do have the domes, but that it's like Buffalo. Like they have a lot of once it gets cold up in Buffalo, like they have the advantage.
Mhm.
It's the home field advantage. There's a
Mhm.
reason you are like it's Kansas City had that home field advantage because it was
Mhm.
freaking cold. Miami was obviously probably like 80 degrees leading up to that week.
Yeah.
And I don't blame any of the guys for what happened, but obviously there is no how do I say this? There's no excuse.
Mhm.
Tua obviously I expected him to do a lot better, especially because this is the second time he's seen this defense. But I think it's is it Vic Fangio? No, no, Vic Fangio was ours. What's his name?
Yeah.
Their DC.
Um,
You know what I'm talking about? The Chiefs DC.
I don't know.
Steve
I can't
Spagnuolo.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Spagnuolo, man. Like he just I mean, you saw what he did to Lamar.
Mhm.
He did that to the MVP, man. And I just expected him to be a little different and understand the game a little bit more, especially the second time playing this team. And the first time,
Tua?
obviously playing horrible. Yeah, I mean, it was the Germany game. We played awful and we lost by I think it was 7. But it was hard to watch, especially the fact that I had to pay $7 to watch it because god awful, NFL
Peacock.
decides to stream this on peak. Well, why? But anyways, yeah, it was cold. There's no excuses. We got to get better. And offensively, I mean, it just felt like we were kind of stuck. If it wasn't, those post corners like to the sideline, it was really never anything other than,
Did Mustard play?
I don't think he did. So that was
That's
another
why he
thing. And
lost.
then, but the Chiefs had a really bad run defense, I think is what I've read. But I don't know how with Chris Jones, and in there, and then obviously the linebackers, Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. But
I think Gay was hurt. Or no, he was hurt against the Ravens, wasn't he?
yeah, yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying though. It's like there's no excuse. Obviously, disappointment because I expected to win the East, but it just came up short. And as far as I'm understanding, Tua will stay with the team and he's confident that he will get a contract done. So,
Oh, is he a free agent? No.
well, it's his 5th year.
Oh, gotcha.
So, I mean, they either have to take his 5th year option or get him a contract. But
Mhm.
I mean, in my opinion, this sounds weird to say. I feel like this was is this year 2 of McDaniel?
Yeah, I
This
think
year 2.
so.
This was like, in my opinion, Tua's sophomore year because of Flores's, you know, neglect of Tua. Like this year coming up, in my opinion, should be his like coming out party
Mm.
in a
Yeah.
not that kind of way, but it should expose him. This should be the year that Tua
He
jumps
comes
onto
out
the
of the
scene.
closet. Yeah.
I mean, for him to, again, it was just a year that it had its ups, it had its downs. Defensively, we were hurt, but I just expect a lot next year, and I feel like it should be a really good year coming up, especially with a lot of potential. I mean, going 12-6, I think it was, and not being AFC East champs, it leaves a taste in your mouth, but also, just the guys are hungry and defensively we were hurt, but should be a really good year coming up. And then, but like I was saying too, the Chiefs is the Chiefs. They
They're
destroyed the NFL MVP in Lamar Jackson. They made him look stupid. No, they didn't make him look stupid. It was a really good game. Obviously, some mental mistakes by the Ravens cost them the game, but the Chiefs are legit, man. And then what they did to Buffalo, just just insane. Like,
How does Stephon Diggs continue to disappear?
he's not going to be a Bill next year, bro.
He's
At
got to
least what
win.
I've been reading.
Best wide receiver 3 in the league, Stephon Diggs.
Wide receiver 3 is
I'm just
crazy,
kidding.
but no, I
Bro, I
mean,
hope Brandon Cooks comes back. They underutilized him. They should have used him way more.
yeah, I will say that because I drafted Brandon Cooks. I was like, yeah, I should draft him
Bro,
because
he's
I feel like
normally he literally every year he's been fantasy gas.
yeah,
Every
dude,
year.
literally, I was just like, this is
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
But Yeah,
This is the only season he's never had 1,000 yards. Did you know that?
that's insane. But another thing
Yep.
too is, like I was saying before we're moving to the next one, um, how about them Lions, man? Brand new Lions choking in the NFC Championship.
I cannot believe Dan Campbell's ego to go for it on fourth twice instead of kicking a field goal in the NFC Championship. I realize that's your motto. Live and go, like live and die by the fourth. But man, like circumstances change. It's the
Yeah,
NFC Championship. You could take this poverty-ridden, like the definition of poverty-ridden, like franchise to the Super Bowl. That's incredible. And you neglect to go. You lost by 3, and you neglect to go for it twice
you neglect to kick
and
the
kick the
field goal
field goal.
twice.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Neglect to kick the field goal twice and go for it. And who did it bobble off of twice? Was it both Josh Reynolds? Both times?
Yeah,
I think it was
Josh
once.
dropped, but oh well, no, Josh dropped one of them, but
Mm,
he did drop a third down pass. I think to make it a first down.
mm.
That keeps the drive going. And I think that was like the 49ers, the drive ensuing was their touchdown to take the lead.
What was their highest? What was the score at halftime? Like 17-7 or 24-7, something
24-7.
like that. So 17 was their biggest lead.
Mm.
God, jeez,
I mean,
that's
personally, like this game, I felt like because I'm also a Lions fan. All right. My AFC team is the Dolphins. My NFC team is the Lions.
you sound like a
Who's your AFC
5-year-old.
team, man?
I don't have an AFC team because I'm not 5. I have one team.
Okay.
My first favorite team is this. My second favorite team is this. My
All
fourth
right.
favorite team is the
So the
Lions.
Dolphins pissed me off. So I was like, hey, I want an NFC team. You should look into it, man. Get an AFC team. Wait, what about
All
the
right,
Chiefs?
Chiefs. The Chiefs are my AFC
Chiefs
team.
are AFC team. Bro, you might win the Super Bowl this year, bro. Your AFC team made it to the Super
Bro,
Bowl.
my team made it to the Super Bowl. My AFC team.
There you go, bro.
I
See,
could
it's fun.
I could say that my team made it to the Super
I can
Bowl.
say my NFC team made it to the NFC Championship and choked.
There you go.
That's pretty fun,
Yeah.
rather than getting their ass handed in negative 26-degree weather. That's pretty fun to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, the Lions is the Lions, and really, I'm just a Lions fan because it's Alabama players galore up there. But JMO finally seeing some touches, due for a big year coming up. Jameer, I try to say it from the beginning. Jameer should have been drafted before Bijan. I'm just
Imagine if
glad
they
he's
used
not.
him like before week 5. It was like it was like week 6 or 7 before they like used him
It was like week 8.
more than
Yeah,
they what
his
was his name?
first
What's his
touchdown
name?
was against the Ravens,
David
Montgomery.
Montgomery. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no way, because I drafted Gibbs too, bro. And he ended up paying
Yeah.
off. Obviously, I
Mhm.
traded him to get CJ Stroud because my quarterbacking was awful.
Dude, Burrow got hurt earlier and I tried to trade one of the guys. I should have. He accepted it too, but I countered with something. I tried to trade him Sam Howell because Sam Howell was leading the league in passing yards at the time. And I tried to trade him for Jordan Love. And I declined it because I'm an idiot. And so I had to keep Sam Howell
Because you're
for
a
the rest of the
Packers
year.
hater, bro.
No, I wanted Jordan Love, but I came back with something else. I can't remember what it was. And so I declined it. I'm an idiot. And then Jordan Love started declining because he was balling there at the very beginning. Then he declined. And then he just shot up after they had
Yeah, and then he
lost.
just starts going crazy after the Thanksgiving game.
Exactly.
Beats the Chiefs too.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro.
So
But yeah, no, overall
came came in
it
second this
was
year in fantasy though.
came in like 8th or 12th,
It's
something like that.
McCaffrey. McCaffrey literally is the only reason that I won. So
Yeah, but
and Cooper. Amari Cooper had like 60 points in
that
like one of the
60-point game or
in one of the
whatever.
fantasy in one of the playoff games. Yeah. Not a
Yeah.
playoff, but like fantasy playoff game.
Nah, dude, it was a wild year. Playoffs, like I said, it was a wild time. Lions NFC Championship before Dallas. Crazy.
Yeah,
49ers
man. Yeah. Let me hear it.
dominate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chiefs. The Chiefs. The Lions
What
fucking
about
suck. Or the
what about
Lions.
the
The Dolphins.
Ravens? Like what do you think about Lamar Jackson and his like has Lamar
I
Jackson
think
ever been to an AFC championship?
no. I think
Yeah,
he's the
I didn't think
MVP of
so.
the league. But at the same time, it's just like
Why?
you
Because
know
he can run.
but that's another thing too. Like it's just you know, they're gonna obviously shit on Lamar because of the mistakes that he made and all that stuff that happened. But what about Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Aren't you shitting on Josh? Shit on Tua. Because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts all have one of the same stats: 0 Super Bowls and 0 AFC NFC champions. Like you know, they're all
Burrow
going to
has
share
an
the same.
AFC championship.
Oh, okay, okay. Let me
Yeah.
repeat. 0 Super Bowls.
Burrow,
Okay, we're going to stick with
0
that.
Super Bowls. There you go.
So at the end of the day, they all have the same stat. So you're going to shit on one, you got to shit on all of them. But how many of them have MVPs?
Wait, Jalen Hurts has an NFC championship too.
All right. Well, you get what I'm
I
saying.
understand what you're saying. No Super Bowls. I understand what
No
you're saying.
Super Bowls. Same
Yeah,
stat. Okay.
I understand. Yes, the lack of
So
Super
if
Bowls.
you're
Yep.
gonna shit on Lamar, you have to shit on Tua, which I'll shit on Tua myself. Josh Allen. I hate Josh Allen. let me get this right. Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Bills, not
Not the
the
defensive end for
for the Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Yeah. But, no, I mean
Is
it was.
Trevor, this doesn't have anything to do with the playoffs. But what do you think about? Is Trevor Lawrence a bust? He has like the same stats as someone that people consider a bust. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who it was. I should have probably elaborated a little bit better.
Oh,
But
Justin Herbert.
you think Justin Herbert's a bust?
I know Justin Herbert's
No
a bust.
one else thinks Justin Herbert's a bust.
See, I'm just a hater.
You are a hater. Why do you hate him?
I don't really care. Like, I don't really know. I think the reason I hate people is because of the Tua disrespect. Again, like I'm saying,
Bro,
I'm
he
gonna
was
say this again,
bro.
like I texted the other day in the chat. If Tua didn't get hurt the week prior to the LSU game,
Oh
you are
my!
not
Here we
speaking
go.
about Joe
Here we
Burrow
go.
in the
Here we
same
go.
terms as he
Here we
did.
go. Here we go.
I think a healthy Tua covers 4 points.
I guess we'll never know.
Uh, but anyways, enough with the
Next topic.
playoffs. Let's get to the back of the house boys official awards, which we should have made like a little
Oh
slide
yeah, we
panel
should
with.
have.
We should have done a little cute edit. just
Who
I
are
feel
we?
weird
Are
saying
we?
cute.
That was
Little
a little odd.
shitty edit. Yeah, there we go. That sounds a lot
Little
more manly.
stupid ass edit.
All right, so we'll just go down the list. Obviously, I don't have a list of the actual awards,
Uh-huh.
but I can try and find it if you want. Obviously, we'll start with MVP. So
Yeah. Do you want to go
MVP.
first? Who my MVP is? Well, unbiased. It's Dak Prescott. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
If McCaffrey wasn't in the league and literally wasn't, I think McCaffrey is the MVP. To be honest with you,
Yeah. I mean, if
if it
McCaffrey
wasn't a
was a
quarterback's
quarterback,
award,
yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say
if it wasn't a
McCaffrey's a
quarterback
quarterback.
award, it should be McCaffrey should be MVP. Sadly, it is a quarterback award. So if Dak would have beat the Packers, he would have been the MVP. You can't get skunked at home, or you can't have 350 garbage time yards against the Packers. I don't know. It is a regular season award, and we're basing this off regular season only, but it's hard to do when you get beat in the playoffs. And I don't know. It's a quarterback's award, so I think genuinely I think it's Dak. And I realize people don't like that, but I think it is. And then if it wasn't, like I said, if it wasn't quarterback's award, I think it's McCaffrey.
Wait, what were you saying about Dak? Like, you actually think it's Dak?
I think it is. It's a quarterback's award, so I think it's Dak. I think the MVP is Dak. It's definitely not Brock Purdy. Lamar Jackson he's a game changer for sure.
This is the list we got right here. So, shout out to this company up here. We're not sponsored. Please don't sue
It's
us.
not Josh Allen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's one
It's
thing
not
that I've
Brock
learned.
Purdy.
Josh Allen has accounted for like 50 TDs.
Rushing
But
touchdowns.
but I
And those
am
are
a
true
hater.
rushing touchdowns.
But I am a hater. So
Those are
fuck
not
Josh
tush
Allen.
push touchdowns either.
It's not Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, not the Jaguar guy. Anyways, Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey is ultimately what it comes down to. But like you were saying, unfortunately, this is a quarterback award. So Lamar
Yeah, it's
Jackson,
Lamar.
you are the MVP of the National Football League,
Yeah.
which you can do with that what you want. I will
Same thing with
say,
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Offensive Player of the Year. This one is a toss up, in my opinion. 'Cause I would
yeah.
love to give this to Tyreek Hill, but I believe this is Christian McCaffrey's award to lose.
That should be McCaffrey. Since he's not
Yeah,
MVP,
if you
that should
don't,
be,
yeah, if they don't give McCaffrey the MVP, he's getting Offensive Player of the Year.
which is whack because CD and Tyreek both had great years, but it's true. Defensive Player of the Year. Um, well,
I
it's a
just
sack award. They don't care about anything else except for sacks. So
Yeah,
probably
Deron
TJ
Bland
Watt.
is not winning this. I like Max Crosby and TJ Watt's motor, so I might stick with these these two guys. No, but in all seriousness, I'll be honest. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I didn't really notice this. Max Crosby, I like him as a player. TJ Watt, I know he got hurt, so I really don't know who's gonna win this. Buck,
I
do you
have
have
no
any
clue.
insight?
No, I don't. I don't think there was like a clear winner. Bland is just there because of the interceptions.
Yeah, the interception
Um,
record. I think
uh,
if we're gonna, yeah, like you said, it's probably TJ Watt.
and
TJ
Micah had a
Watt
down
probably,
year. Like he did not have his best year.
yeah. TJ Watt probably
So
had like some crazy stat that we're just ignoring. It's probably like
no, it's his
most
sacks. It's
sacks.
like it's
Well, he got hurt
I,
too, so I don't understand.
I want to say he had like, hang on.
You find that? Well, while you're talking about that, we're gonna talk about the
He had 19
offensive.
sacks.
Oh
So
yeah, he's
yeah,
winning
I
it.
think it's TJ
Yeah,
Watt. Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna
Rookie of the
talk
year,
about the.
offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Dang,
Unfortunately,
there's so many good ones.
if you are a really good quarterback as a rookie, you're gonna win this.
Yeah. It's the
So
same thing. Yeah.
none of these players have a chance at
Bijan
all.
is just a consolation pick.
Yeah,
I
and
don't think
Bijan's
he's
just on here because of hype.
they needed a
Like I
fit.
told, yeah, like I told you guys, Jameer Gibbs obviously is the better running back. Laporta is a dog.
Yeah.
Puka broke the rookie receiving receptions and I think touchdowns or something like that.
That's crazy. I think he should
Yeah, definitely. That's what I think.
I think
But
Puka should
CJ
be.
took his team to the
It's
playoffs.
a quarterback award, yeah.
So CJ will be the offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
But
So you think it's
guess what?
Puka, but we agree it's gonna be CJ?
Yeah, I agree with Puka, but CJ's winning it.
Yeah.
But next year, comeback player of the year is Bryce Young. What is he coming back from? A horrible
Poverty.
franchise. Anyways, so CJ, you got it this year, but don't worry, sophomore slump, Bryce is stepping up. Defensive rookie of the year, I would love Will Anderson to take this and the
Mhm.
Houston Texans to go back to back, but for some reason, Jalen Carter is probably going to win this. I have no idea what he
I
did.
I don't
That's what I've
yeah, I
heard
don't I
is
have no
Jalen
clue.
Carter has had a really good season, but I don't remember ever hearing about Jalen Carter other than like the draft. If I'm being honest.
I just know that he was just yeah. I'm not sure his driving record's the cleanest.
Anyways,
Um,
Kobe Turner I know had like the rookie defensive tackles I think record. He was
see, I
like
didn't even
the
know that. That's crazy.
fifth, fourth, or fifth. Yeah, bro, he went crazy, bro. The
The
two
dude, the
Rams.
Rams drafting is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So obviously my pick would be Will Anderson, but if we're being realistic, Jalen Carter I think is taking it for some
Yeah.
reason. I have no
I
idea
guess
what's
I don't
that.
really know.
And here's the one of the most controversial ones.
Mm.
Don't grade us our show on
Why
what we're
is
talking about.
Tua in comeback player of the year? Oh, he got hurt.
Oh,
I forgot about that. I'm
yeah,
sorry. I'm
because
sorry. I'm
he
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot. He had an yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh, yeah, so it is year 2 of McDaniel this past year. But anyways, Joe Flacco coming off a couch to take the Browns to the
Yeah,
playoffs,
it should be.
which in
To
my
take him to the
opinion should be
playoffs
it.
is crazy.
Baker
But
Mayfield is another really good choice because guess what? He was on 3 teams last year.
and he won a playoff game, did he not?
2 or 3 teams, yeah. Yeah, and he won a playoff. He beat the Eagles,
Yeah.
who were potential frauds. It depends on who you're talking to, but Matthew
And you
Stafford,
can't ask
what is
me.
he coming back from? I have no idea. I guess
Yeah,
getting hurt
that's
after the Super
crazy.
Bowl. They needed 5.
Exactly. It's the same situation with Bijan.
Tua, obviously, you know what happened. You know, should be retired. And then Damar Hamlin, not gonna say much.
He's a lock.
But anyways, Damar Hamlin is winning this
It's a
award is
lot.
going to be
Yeah.
posted everywhere.
Even
Um,
though, yeah.
Even though in my opinion Baker or Joe should be up there.
Yep. I mean, what is his stat line? Like 2 tackles? Damar
Oh, he
Hamlin?
also had that fake fourth down.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Why? Why did they do that? It's so stupid.
Yeah, on their own sideline. Yeah.
Because they already have, because Disney already called him because they want to make a based on a true story movie,
Oh my
and they had
god.
to have something else,
So that
and they
was the
wanted
thing.
that to
That
be
was
like
the
a
plot.
miracle.
If he would have converted that, that would have
Yep.
like that was
Yep.
going to be the game defining moment like in the movie.
Yep. Yep. Coach of the year, Dan
Yeah,
Campbell.
anyways, we're not talking much about this because we don't want to get canceled. But
It's
Damar
Damar.
Hamlin's one. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
coach of the year. A lot of good candidates. John Harbaugh has a stacked team. Don't really care. Kyle Shanahan has a stacked team. Don't really care. So it's between Dan Campbell, D'Amico, and Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski is pretty much on here because of Joe Flacco. So
Yeah. That was just a panic move, and Joe Flacco just panned out.
yeah.
So
Yep.
I don't
So
know, man.
D'Amico or
This
Dan?
is his first year, right?
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know.
Dan Campbell. I mean, he took his team to the NFC Championship for the first time
Yeah, but he's an
in 30
idiot. No, I'm
years.
just kidding.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I'm
he
just
is
kidding.
he's a pretty good gambler. I know where JMO gets it from now.
But we're talking about regular season, so it's
Yeah, oh,
probably
yeah.
Dan Campbell. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna
It's
go
either
with Dan
D'Amico or
Campbell
Dan
just
Campbell.
because D'Amico, like, he did really good. They did really good, but they got in because of the Jaguars choking.
That's true.
So I'm going with Dan. Dan, I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, give me Dan.
remarkable year, and I think this one could go hand in hand right
Oh
here.
yeah.
Um, I'm obviously gonna go with Ben Johnson just because he was
AC
the
Reynolds, high
OC.
school legend, Ben Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. Mike McDonald. I mean, the defense for the Ravens was insane. The offense was insane up until the playoffs.
I didn't know the DC and the OC for the Ravens is on there. That's crazy.
Yeah. Jim Schwartz, I mean, the reason Cleveland was in the playoffs was because of that
The
defense
defense.
and Joe Flacco. But
I don't really have a say. I don't really know. Any of those could be the ones for
I was trying to find some research on the. I just pulled up the old story from last year, so that was the problem. But yeah. I
for
mean,
what?
that's I was I was in the wrong story, like
Hmm.
storyline. So
Oh, is this the storyline we're talking about next?
yes, this is the storyline we're talking about. Oh, we're getting ad block. Mute that real quick. But anyways, yep, that's our NFL awards, and that's who's gonna win. And if you are a betting man, take our awards and put $100 on it, and then whatever you win, you owe us.
Put that in a parlay, and then you owe us 15%.
And now for the final topic of the show, the granddaddy of them all, the mid bowl.
The somebody has to win bowl.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go outright and say I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't care which team wins, just because
I do.
I know you do. I don't
It's the
care.
less it's the lesser of two evils, man. Like you got I don't know why it's popular to hate it's popular to hate on Kansas City because of the Taylor Swift stuff. By the way, did you know she's dating Travis Kelsey?
What?
Yeah, I think she's gonna be at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I think I saw the consulate of Japan post how they were.
Oh, how they were very, very sure that she was gonna make it from Tokyo
Yeah,
from her concerts. Yeah, that's insane. Anyway, but outside of the Taylor
got a
Swift stuff,
whole country
outside of the
telling
Taylor
you not
Swift
to do.
stuff,
Mhm.
I don't know why it became popular to hate on Kansas City. I guess it's the same thing with like hating Tom Brady because he's good.
Yeah.
But um, no, give me Kansas City. I hate San Francisco with every fiber of my being. Um,
I did see this crazy stat that every Super Bowl the 49ers have won has been followed before, I guess. I'm trying to word this. So the team they beat prior to winning the Super Bowl in the NFC Championship, one of their primary colors was blue. And when they
huh?
didn't beat a team that had a primary color of blue, they lost.
Wow. They also no one ever has won the Super Bowl with a loss to Kirk Cousins.
Oh, did
And
they lose to? Oh, they did lose to the
yep,
Vikings. Oh,
no one has ever won the Super Bowl
so
after
one of
losing to
those
Kirk
two is
Cousins.
gonna break.
Yeah, either one.
So either the Kirk Cousins curse is broken,
Either the Kirko
or
chains, cause like Kirko chains, curse is
or the
broken.
blue
Yeah,
team,
yeah,
curse is broken.
yeah.
Like, we're gonna put this to the test and get back to you guys next time. But yeah, overall, I
Uh,
mean, I think for the
yeah.
Chiefs to be dogs in this is kind of insane.
Insane. When will people learn? Like, I don't. We might be eating our words next week, but I
Yeah,
truly don't.
I
I
mean,
truly don't think it's
another
gonna.
thing too is a lot of there's still a handful of players from the last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl that are
Mm-hmm,
on that team, like
mm-hmm,
on the 49ers team.
mm-hmm.
So I mean, that could
Wasn't
play a
Bosa
factor.
there?
Yeah,
Bosa,
Bosa was a rookie.
Kittle was there.
Yeah, Purdy
I don't
wasn't
know.
there.
Purdy was. I don't even know when that was. How many years ago? That was 2020. It was 4 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, it was 2020. Because I
So
saw
he
another
was.
stat, and they were like the last time these two teams played in a Super Bowl, we had a pandemic following. And we're like,
So
please
yeah,
cancel
this
the
is gonna be
game.
the worst thing ever. Yeah, we had a
No.
pandemic following.
So World War III is gonna happen after this game.
It's
So
happening,
just be
guys. You heard it
aware.
here first. Back of House Boys podcast.
Yeah. So whenever it happens, come back to us, subscribe, leave a
Yeah,
like. But yeah, overall, I mean, just insane that the Chiefs, in my opinion, are dogs in this. Um, their run defense has definitely stepped up during the playoffs. So
I didn't
I'm
know their
not saying
defense
anything
was
against
that good.
McCaffrey. Dude,
I like
L'Jarius Sneed, one
after
freaking touchdown.
watching after watching Kansas City on like all these playoff games, I didn't realize their defense was that good.
Dude, yeah, like I said, it was Steve Spagnuolo. It's insane what he's done with
Mm-hmm.
that defense. And I mean, another thing that I saw was someone was making fun of the Dolphins for losing, and it was like, didn't your team just get bounced by the Chiefs too? I think it was like a Ravens fan. It's
Nice.
like, I mean, at least we lost to the potential Super Bowl champs.
That's why I was hoping the Packers were going to beat the 49ers.
Oh, because you lost to the potential Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, that and I can't stand them, but
Yeah, that's true. It's like a lose-lose situation for you.
it's horrible. It's like I don't want to say it, but
It's like a lose-lose-lose situation
yeah, it's
because
like
you also lost to one of you're not in the Super Bowl. So that's
yeah, it's like lose because we have to see Brock Purdy win, and we have to hear about how Brock Purdy was undrafted, which I can't stand. And I know you probably don't care, but I
No,
can't
I
stand it.
mean, my thing is like I knew the guy was like pretty good because I mean he was on the Iowa State team whenever they were like doing pretty good numbers, and he
Yeah.
also beat out Real Mitchell, who was like one of the top quarterbacks, in that recruiting class. I think it was like 2019.
Mm.
But it was pretty good. I mean, I knew he had potential, and everybody always plays that clip of where Saban tells him he's too small, he's too weak, and all this. I'm like, bro. I'm like, so for one thing too, when Brock Purdy succeeds, that video always goes on my feed, just to shit on Saban, and I'm like, okay, this guy was an average Joe.
Yeah, he was, and I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's made some good, like really good throws
Yeah, I mean,
when he needs to, for
they
sure.
beat the Lions last week because of I think he had 51 rush yards.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Jeez, I didn't know he had
and
that
those
many.
scramble yards, I mean,
Yeah,
were a big reason. I mean, if you say
yeah,
he has 0 scramble yards,
yeah,
they probably don't win that game.
yeah.
And then, say the ball doesn't hit a Detroit Lions defender in the helmet,
In the helmet, and then
and
magically bounce in Ayuk's arms. And then Josh Reynolds catches two crucial
yeah,
passes
and then,
that lead to first
Jared
down.
Goff doesn't hand the ball off awkwardly to Jahmyr Gibbs on their side of the 20.
Yeah, who knows? But Brock Purdy, moral of the story, is the reason they
I
won.
guess we'll never know.
Yep.
But anyways, should be a really good game. Excited because I don't really, like I said, I don't really care who wins this game, but I would love to see Mahomes win his third. That would be
Yeah, I want to see
insane.
Mahomes just like extend his dynasty and just like
Yeah,
extend his like reach or whatever. I think that'll be
and
cool.
Kelsey might retire after this.
Think so?
I don't know, man.
How old is he?
I think he's getting tired. How old is he?
I mean, when you have the generational Taylor Swift bag,
True. But
and
she's a
then
billionaire.
I know, and then on top of that, you
34.
also
So he's turning
wow.
35 this year. And
Yeah, I
what else
mean,
does he
yeah,
have to prove? He broke Jerry
exactly.
Rice's record.
Sure. His playoff record, he's a surefire Hall of Famer. How many Pro Bowls has he been in? How many All Pros does he have? He'll have
Yeah.
maybe 3 Super Bowls after this.
Yeah.
He'll go down as what? Who's the best tight end of all time?
I think you could argue Tony Gonzalez, Gronkowski, and Shannon Sharp. I think those are like the big three.
Mhm. Well, Kelsey's gotta be up there, I
Oh
think, if he
yeah,
wins a
Kelsey's
Super
on
Bowl,
there. I mean, if there's a Mount
or if he's on
Rushmore,
there now.
those are the
Yeah,
four.
yeah.
I mean, for you to break Jerry Rice's receptions record in the playoffs,
Mhm,
which I have no idea how many that was, and that's something that I would like to see, but
mhm.
I'm sure it was something absurd. So, and again, it's Vanilla Kelsey, man. That boy's a dog.
Jerry Rice also has 3 Super Bowls, so if he can win one more, he'll match that. So, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, it's insane. But yeah, like I said, should be a really good game, and excited for that, and just excited for all the football, man. And unfortunately, it is going to be gone, but guess what? Back of the House Boys, number one source for UFL content coming spring,
Dude,
March
we
3rd.
should start covering that.
UFL content, bro. Who knows? Nah, I mean, I'm
CD
excited,
Strong,
man.
bro. He got signed. That's
Destroying.
crazy.
We gotta find you gotta find your team. I think I did. I think I picked the
My
Renegades
second
last
favorite
year.
UFL team.
There you go,
It's
man.
my favorite UFL
I'll
team.
find one.
My second favorite UFL team.
I gotta look into rosters.
The
See who I
Renegade.
like. The Renegades.
The Renegade Raiders.
Renegade. Bless you. Sorry, my wife's bothering the background. Anyways, guys, that is should wrap up today's show. Again, like I said, thank you for tuning back in. Thank you for sticking around. Sorry for the hiatus. Should have some
We're
different
back.
content coming, and hopefully just learn a lot this year, especially with what we want to do and how we want to approach this. If you're new, like, subscribe, tell us how bad we are so we can get better. And also follow us on Instagram and X. Not really active there, but we're learning on that. So if you want to give us some pointers on that, please let us know. And again, remember to use code BOH Bois on StreamYard.com. No, I'm kidding. We're not sponsored, but it'd be pretty cool. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Chiefs.